Hey everyone, so this is the room that used to be the school room, but as you've seen, we now have a school corner. So now this is our office. And I will go ahead and start the video and say, no, this room is not 100% clean or finished. But since we will not be able to do that before, we will not have time to finish it before the new school year starts, I wanted to go ahead and give you a preview of what it looks like. And once we have it completely done and have all the camera equipment that we're currently packing actually put where it's going to go instead of packing it, then we'll do another video. But for now, let's start. Here's the door we just came in, and the girls thought that this was too cute and that Daddy needed a sign that says, "But first coffee." And that's not permanent, that's just where a nail was, where he could hang it to where it wouldn't get hurt or damaged. Okay, so the first thing over here is Sarah's knitting table. And this is her knitting, this was my knitting machine, but I gave it to her. And this is a table that Matt handcrafted for this machine. He cut out the hole for it and everything. Machine fits here. The weight and the product fit through the hole. And then the tin underneath is yarn just for Sarah to use for the knitting machine because it takes a thinner, lighter weight yarn. And then those are the knitting looms that the girls use to make hats to donate. At the moment, I still have not had a chance to organize this. This was up from when this was a schoolroom. We're planning on leaving it up because we're planning on, this is going to be an office slash crafting room. And you'll see more in a minute of what I mean by that. So we're going to have craft supplies on here. I just haven't had a chance to organize and say this is what's going here. A couple of things like the glitter glue will stay in here, and tape and stencils because there's nowhere else to put them. The Sharpies will probably move over to mine or Matt's desk, but that's there for now. And then I don't remember if when we first did our first video showing our schoolroom, if the yarn was here. But just in case, because we've moved it from the wall behind me. But this is our new yarn storage. Yellow, green, browns and beiges, blue, purple. They didn't have a purple big crate whenever we did it, and that was a video finishing up. Black and gray, which we just got a new tote because we only found them at Walmart at back to school weekend. So I'm gonna take the gray and the excess white out of there, put it in there, and then put it up on top of that one. But for now, the black and gray are together. The mini buckets are for when I have smaller half skeins of yarn left, and for the cotton thread yarns. That is my notebook I take to festivals. And then there's the tic-tac-toe pieces. I haven't finished that project yet. White and red. And then some ribbons that we've won at different events. The box for the knitting machine holds some unfinished pieces in it. That box here holds the Red Heart Unforgettable because it frays super easy. I didn't want it up here with the rest. So that's there. Stuffing. When I have extra yarn, I start making it into granny squares, and I'm hoping to finish that blanket sometime soon. Then I have, these are my inventory products for now. They were in the rolling suitcase, but that was not working because we needed them. So now they're in here. And then this dresser underneath here, minus the top drawer, which the top drawer, oops, I had some blue escape. The top drawer here is, this is an inflatable bumbo that we use to prop babies and baby dolls up with for pictures for my products. This has lace in it, and this has more lace and specialty cutout pieces, felt, and holiday pieces in here. But the rest of it is fabric. We just finished some pajamas for Sarah out of this, play clothes fabric, and I try to do it by color just to keep it all organized. This right here is where I have some unfinished projects and where the girls can put their dresses that need mended or any of their other clothes that need mended on here. And then I have a friend who makes the rag rugs out of scrap material. So anytime I have large pieces of scrap material or torn up clothes, I send them to her so that she can do that, because she's super sweet and she just gives to everybody else. So it's a way for us to give back to her. That bag is for plastic canvas, because I didn't really have a drawer that plastic canvas fits in here. So that worked really well for that. That is a two-sided tackle box for my extra thread. I'll show you in a minute. I have a drawer of thread for easy access. This is for the extra colors, like when I have 10,000 yellows and greens and blues, they're all in there. This is, oops, forgot to put that up. This is my serger table. This is another table that Matt custom built for our crafting supplies. He uses scrap wood from his work to be able to do it. He cut a hole through so that the cord is not hanging over the side like it is on my sewing machine. And it's pretty sturdy. I mean, sergers shake quite a bit when you use them, but this is pretty sturdy. It holds it on here really well. And then that tin back there has extra buttons. I do have a tin for buttons, but it's not enough to hold all the buttons, because sometimes we buy like holiday buttons. So it has mostly my holiday buttons, but it also has ones that don't fit. And then this was my Nana's, and it was something that she kept on her sewing table, and when it was given to me after she passed, I wanted to utilize it. So what I did was I've taken all the zippers. We bought these zippers like $3 at an SCA yard sale for all of them, and I love using zippers on the skirts. So I put those there, and then this makes quick, easy access for my hemline measuring tools here. So that's for there, and so far I haven't had any problems with anything catching on those, which I don't crochet at my sewing tables. I usually crochet sitting on the couch or in a chair not facing that. So the next one, there's my trash can. The next one over here is my sewing machine, and both of these are Janome brand. I have a video on just the machines, what I do and don't like about them. It was one of my earlier videos if you want to check it out. But this is my Janome sewing machine, and this was, I'm pretty sure this was one of my Nana's sewing tables too that was given to me. This little contraption was something somebody made for me to hold like serger thread. If you wanted to use serger thread on your regular machine, it actually works really well. That is some craft supplies that I can't get out in front of the kids right now. And this is the big button tin I was talking about. See, like this big bag of white. This was fit in here better, but we had some quick grab and go buttons for when my cousin was in town and we were doing craft supplies with her. And then this is different. We did have these organized a little bit different, but it worked to utilize just stacking them. Top drawer is for tools, needles, and sewing supplies for the 3 machines, sewing machine, serger, and embroidery machine. This is the drawer I was talking about. This has my extra serger thread, and as you see, I'm fixing to have to change out the first 1 and 2 threads. But this has basically one of every color and some of the specialty threads, like I think this one? No, this one. Like this one was bought for a project. It's a specialty thread, so it's also in here. And then I have this cute little plastic container for my bobbins, which they don't all fit. And then I also have some Ziploc groups where I put the thread and the bobbin together whenever I'm working on a specific project. Next drawer down is my magnets. This is the standalone magnet, and I'm actually not seeing, I have a slap band wrist magnet that I also use when sewing. It's probably in that box right now. But I also keep my lighters for burning off ribbons in here, safety pins, pins. This has the thread, I call them yarn needles. It's the really big needles, slightly dull on the end, but they work for yarn needles. So those are in here. Seam rippers. This is something that whenever I'm using the thin thread and it starts cutting through my finger, I can put that on there and it'll hold it. It also is for like if you're using multiple colors at one time. So there's that. Next drawer down is patterns for Madeline and me, like her doll patterns here, and then the patterns I use for their clothes. Next drawer down is ribbons and elastic and oh, I forget what it's called. I think it's called bias tape right here. And there's also some rickrack. Next drawer down is my floss, organized in Ziplocs by color, except for like ones that are left over from projects in here. And then my tape that I use to tape off the end of the embroidery piece. Can't think of what it's called right now, but the material you use for that. And then I also have a really large thread sorter for when you're starting a project. It doesn't come with one of those. This is my crochet and knit drawer. I actually don't do a lot of knitting, but I do use knitting needles to finish off Sarah's projects off the knitting machine. This is what I use to make a shawl of Madeline's that you'll see in a video in a couple of weeks. And then I have a pouch that's quick and grab, every size that I have right now. And then the rest of them went into this Ziploc, and some of those were also my Nana's. My embroidery hoops are down here, and then safety eyes for my amigurumi projects are also here. And then this is my scrapbooking drawer. And then this desk is not finished because we still have a few pieces from overflow from Matt's workbench and my actual desk that do not have a home yet. So once this is done, this will be my work table with my tablet, my work tablet here. I haven't figured out how to utilize my pink bucket yet, but I'm wanting to keep that here because the embroidery machine, I'm pretty sure, is going to pretty much stay set up for specific uses. This is Madeline's Madeline tin, but she decided to start keeping buttons from projects in here, like if something breaks and she wants to keep the button. So that's on here. And then for right now, Matt's scrap leather, his bead working, the baskets that we just bought at back to school time for him, for his workbench, and like I said, the embroidery machine back here. This one actually is a Singer Futura, or Futura. I'm not good at pronouncing that. That one was a gift to us, and it has been a huge blessing and help. Underneath the sewing, or the embroidery machine table, we have some projects for the kids to work on. Those just kind of stay right there, and then I also have a scrapbook that I'm working on down there. And then right now, this is not going to stay set up, but it's set up right now because I've been working on some projects that I'll show you in a couple of weeks when I reveal them. But these are some top secret projects for now. And then this is where Matt has been setting up his work table, which his work table was not a mess. What happened was some of the papers fell and they ended up getting thrown on here, but I'm going to clean that off before he gets home from work because he's been working super hard on getting this done and some projects for the girls and me, and I just want to help him out by getting that cleared off for him. Underneath his work table is where all the tools are right now. You can see mine right there, his, and then that bag has sandpaper in it. We haven't figured out where to put the sandpaper yet. His big tool boxes are under there, the extension cords. So that's where all of our tools are staying kept because he can't use that side of it anyways, side of the table. This is my desk, and this is my place where I'll mostly probably just be here whenever I'm sorting through paperwork and schoolwork. Because other than that, I'm usually mostly at my sewing table. And then a movie poster to hang up in the toy room that I haven't done yet. I've been keeping lotion in here because we've been working and both of us end up with really dry hands when we're working with, you know, fiber arts a lot. This is all the camera equipment that we're currently packing. So that's why it's all out, is because we're packing it. And then this is left over from where I'm working on a project over here. But this is where we're trying to pack up all of our camera equipment that we're taking with us. And where we have taken it with us to places already so far. And then the printer's over here. And then the printer paper is docked under there for now. That is specialty printer paper, like holiday paper. The thick paper that we used for the health fair for Madeline's board is under here. And then this is a shelf that we've had it for a really long time, but the leg on it on the bottom just won't stay on. I'm having a hard time finding a place to keep it. I keep moving it from room to room. So what we're thinking of doing is taking this apart and making little corner shelves to mount here and there where we need them. And so that's why that's just sitting right there. It's just because we're not 100% sure what we're doing with it yet. All of these totes are Matt's fishing equipment and his fishing supplies here. And his rods and his net and all that are back here. And then this is Matt's station in here. He's got the gaming stuff in here, and we have a TV in here. And this was a TV we were using in our room, but then we decided to move this in here. And we did have a recliner in here, but he said he's fine using his new desk chair instead. So his gaming stuff is here and here. There's also a box of cords, and then he also has other things that are his in there. I'm actually not 100% sure what are in those boxes, but it's his and he keeps it organized. And then this is more stuff that we haven't found a place to sort it yet. Before we started buying a lot of stuff digitally, we were buying cheap CDs and then downloading the music and then putting it on our phones. So now we're kind of stuck with all these CD cases. The leather on top is some of Matt's leather that he uses for SCA. And then there's notebooks, my laptop that the fan died on, and then our family gaming stuff is right here. And then behind it is my craft books, and then some resource books that we have digitally, but we're still wanting to keep the actual books, so we don't mind this shelf being in front of it, because we still have the books digitally, but if we need the books physically in our hand, we can always move the shelf, because it's not permanent. This shelf was in the girls' room, and when the girls gained a toy room again, they did not need it in there, so it moved into here. So now we have started using it. This is their craft supplies. This is a place for them to be able to have craft supplies in the craft/office room. And let's see, this is a bag of pine cones. These are some projects they're working on. Paint, Madeline's paint kit, acrylic paints. And before we did some craft supplies at my grandmother's house, this is a sticker bucket. There's scrapbooking supplies, stationery supplies, beadwork, felt and sewing, sand art. And then on the bottom is Madeline's knot quilt that she's making. Her pot holder equipment's there. Her loom band equipment was there. Some of it's still there. And then a box of odds and ends scrapbooking supplies. And then we also have this really cool ArtStation stand that right now I'm using one computer to edit one video. And then over here I have another computer editing another video, because we got really far behind right after summer reading, and just we've been gone a lot. So we're trying to get caught up right now. But this is another desk that Matt has built. He did not want to mount the computer screen to the wall, and I'm actually glad he didn't, because we've moved this desk 3 times now. It moved with us from our old house to here, and we've moved it from our room into here, and it works really well. But it's mounted just like, I can't get it quite right, it's mounted just like a TV wall mounts. I don't think it pivots. No, it doesn't pivot. It's a standstill one, but it works really well to have that. And then that little cubby down there, he can slide the keyboard on. And then this is some of his odds and ends supplies and things that, you know, the stuff piles up. I mean, it's human. And then these are where our pens are. His little drawer that has more pens, Sharpies, things we don't want the kids to get into. The paintbrush jar from the school corner was moved into here. And so that's going to stay in here with the paint supplies. We saw no need to move it. This is one of our Bluetooth speakers. That was a cup where I was drinking water while I was working on computer editing a while ago. Headphones, some rods for making arrows. And then this is our plastic unit drawer for office supplies in both of those drawers. And then the second drawer also shares shipping supplies with the third drawer for whenever I ship my Etsy items out. And then that tray is super handy for whenever you're wanting to sit like on a couch or in the recliner and you want to use the laptop, because it keeps it up off of everything. And we've used it for like a couple years that way, and it works really well. And then we have an extra computer monitor, and I think that's the stand that actually came with this one. I'm not 100% sure. It may have come with that one. And then this area we have not even started organizing yet, because we are just running out of time to get some stuff done. So top shelf is an extra printer that we have. We use it for just like quick printing whenever we were using it to travel back and forth to a friend's house whenever we needed to print stuff and they didn't have a printer working. And then there's more Bible resource books and other resource books there that, again, we have all digital of. And then some of these are just really old classic books. And then the bookends are were my Nana's. And then the rest of this here is SCA. There's SCA fabric there. Demo supplies. Some of my Minister of Children supplies. The bocce ball set. Our feast basket. My craft basket. SCA yarn that I use only for SCA items. Sarah's China kit. These are our mugs that we take with us that were given to us by their former majesties of Meridia's, Count and Countess. And we use those even if we don't use anything else out of the feast basket. Madeline's armband, and then a sword that Sarah I think was given. And then I think somewhere over here also is Madeline's boffer. So that is our quick tour, and I know it's like a 20-25 minute video already, but that's our quick tour of the office and how it's changed. Taking the table out really did, you know, let up a lot of space in here, but we also have space if we need to set a table up to cut material out on and not use the dining room table. So like I said, I could have waited until it was like completely spotless in here to do a video for you all, but I mean, just to be honest, we're living our lives. I mean, we're just living our lives, and we have crafts going on, and it's a craft room, so we're using it. And we're still finding places to put things, and we're still trying to get settled in here, and still adjusting to having only 5 of us now. So it's not completely clean in here, but it is organized to where we can find everything we need, and still have time to go spend time with family right now, and hopefully get to go on vacation soon.